Nice to be on the screens of CATED. My name is Nalinya Sawya, the chemistry teacher, and I'm here to help you pass through or give the analysis of the UNEB examination that was done on 14th October 2024. The chemistry subject itself is on the syllabus because there is a reason. The Ministry of Education is looking at constructing its learner of chemistry into something. So whatever that was being assessed or whatever that was given to you, it is a reason, it's because they wanted to assess and see if their construct has been achieved. Because of that, the subject itself is divided into 5 elements of constructs, which could be the characteristics of the student who has started chemistry for the 4 years. And the paper was divided into that. We have paper 1, which is taking only 4 elements of constructs, and meaning that the student is supposed to be doing 4 questions from paper 1. It is a theory paper. And then the last paper, element of construct, that is element of construct 5, for it goes for the practical bit of it. And that is the reason as to why in our practical papers of chemistry, it is always done as 1 question, because they are testing for only 1 element of construct. So today we are here to pass through the theory paper, which is having the 4 elements of construct. Section A is having 2 elements of constructs, element of construct 2 and element of construct 3. Element of construct 2 is item number 1, and element of construct 3 is item number 2. In each element of construct, you're having a group of topics that are there that help our learner to appreciate whatever learning outcome that is being set for that element. And then in section B, we have 2 elements of constructs also. That is element of construct 1 and element of construct 4. So today, now we are going to first look at element of construct 2, that is item number 1 of the UNEB paper that was done on 14th of October 2024. Element of construct 1, item 1 that is coming from element of construct 2, this is how I'm abbreviating it, is having a general learning outcome where the learner is supposed to appreciate the application of chemistry in our daily life. So UNEB is looking at testing and assessing if my learner, the one that is being brought for assessment, is able to appreciate that chemistry is really applied in our daily life. That is element 1. And what are those topics that can help us understand or help us tell if that learner was able to achieve the construct? These. We have the first one as chemicals for consumers. What are those chemicals or what are those chemical substances that are consumed by people? We have the first one, detergents. A detergent is a chemical. We study it in chemistry and we are looking at how it is being applied in our daily life. Another one is medicine. Medicine is also under chemicals for consumers. And then the last one, the food additives. What are those substances we add in food? They are chemicals. And then another topic UNEB is looking at under the same learning outcome of element of construct 2 is nuclear processes. And in the nuclear processes, you are looking at nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Those are the topics that are supposed to be there. And how do we assess or how do we tell that the learning outcome has been achieved? We are looking at these 3 things. The student is supposed to identify, read the scenario or read the question and understand it, and be able to categorize the product that is being talked about, give its type, and suggest a reason why you're calling it that specific category, and then after give us examples of that substance you're saying. If it is a detergent, for example, be able to categorize that detergent, give us a reason why you're calling it that type, and give us some of the examples we use in our daily life of that detergent. And the same applies to all of these topics that are here. Number 2, you're supposed to give us the social benefits of the product and how it impacts life when used. What are some of the uses, or how do we use that product you're talking about? I've just given an example of detergents. I think let me go to the food additives now. If it's social benefits, how are the food additives important in our daily life and how does it really impact on us? Explain its impact. And then lastly, true, we believe there is nothing that is so good 100%, so we are expecting some side effects and how they can be impacted and how they impact on our lives. However, we believe they are good according to what has been given here, so suggest for us a mitigation. How can we stop that side effect that is coming from that product? For example, if I'm having a detergent that I'm talking about, I've finished categorizing it, I've given a reason, and I've given an example. I've come number 2, given the social benefits, how it is used, and how it impacts our lives. I use it for washing and it eases the process maybe. And then number 3, what are some of the side effects of that detergent? How does it negatively impact my life, and how can I mitigate that? So when I finish giving all this, then the learner is able to be graded as that one who has really appreciated the application or who has not appreciated. When we drive ourselves back to the UNEB paper and look at the scenario the way it was, we are going to read it, and then afterwards we start answering based on the key areas of assessment that were given. So when we drive ourselves back to the UNEB paper that was done on 14th, I'm opening CATED app. The paper is already posted there, and the question item 1 is saying, during the Second World War, the cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan were bombed using the most lethal weapon of the time, which caused massive destruction as shown in the figure below. However, the energy that was used can be useful in the treatment of cancerous growths in humans. Up to now, the impact of bombing is still being felt in Japan. And then the support material is given of the picture that showed the effect, and then we go to the task. Task, they are saying, as a chemistry learner, part A, identify the type of the bomb that was used. Part B is saying, suggest any other use of the form of energy that was used in the bomb, and then lastly, explain the other dangers associated with the form of energy in the bomb and give its mitigation. When you look at this paper, they are trying to show us that in the World War II in Japan, the bomb that was used affected the people. However, in the scenario, they're still telling us that that bomb, that energy that was used in the bomb can be useful. They are giving us a support material, and question number 1 is telling us to identify the type of the bomb that was used. And then part B, we give the use of the form of energy that was used in the bomb, and then part C, explain the other danger that is associated with the energy that was produced. When we go back to our elements and load the question again, you see that the question is coming from the nuclear processes, which is either nuclear fusion and then nuclear fusion. It is also looking at the application of the chemistry in our daily life. They applied the knowledge of nuclear processes to make that weapon. They used the bomb, and hence testing for this element. How do we answer? We said we use the key areas of assessment as the follows. The first one is saying, what is the type of the bomb? I'm supposed to identify which product are they talking about for me to answer. The product they're talking about is a bomb itself. Okay, when we look at the question, the way it was, they were looking at the specific product they were talking about was a bomb that caused a massive destruction in Japan. And we are tasked to first identify, for part A, what is the type of the bomb. However, we are not going to just say that type and leave it like that. Remember, the key area of assessment, you're supposed to give the category, that is the type. We give a reason why we are saying so, and then we suggest an example. So what is the category of the bomb that was used? When you look at it, the one that gave off all that destruction was because of the nuclear fusion process. So I'm going to say the item, the type of the bomb was a nuclear fusion bomb. Then after, I give a reason. This is just for the category of the product. Then I add on a reason. I give a reason why, because its energy is derived from nuclear process or a nuclear fusion process. Then after giving a reason why I'm calling it, so then I give an example of a bomb. Me, the only example of a bomb I know is a grenade. So I said, for example, grenade. And I've already answered part A. I've given the category, I've given the reason, and then I've given an example of that bomb. Then after, while marking, though I don't know what is in the marking station now, but while marking, they're supposed to give a score for the nuclear fission. They give the score for the reason, and then they give the score for the example. So if you're only having just this alone, you're having only 1 out of the 3. And if you're having only the type and the example, then that means that you're having only 2. If you're having both of them, then all of them, then it means that you're having all the scores. So they just score you based on what you have given. If you've given something that is quite different or something that is wrong, then that means that it's very possible to walk away with a 0. Then you go to part B of the item, where they are telling us to give us any other use of the form of energy. Remember, in our scenario, in our question, they told us that it can be used in laboratories for cancerous things and what. So when we said the social benefit and the impact, I'm supposed to give the importance of that form of energy, nuclear energy. Where can we use nuclear energy and what is its impact? So I can say one of the reasons, I can say that energy, the nuclear energy, can be used in power production while in industrialization. The power, instead of the high costs of the electricity that they are using in industries, they can instead opt for the nuclear energy, and they use it while coming up with the processes, whatever they are doing. And then I explain the impact. So I can say the nuclear energy can be used in industries to generate power for production. This is just a use, then I explain its impact. How is it, like explain the impact of this use, which helps them cut the costs of the electricity. So this can be my social benefit and its impact. Just explain like that. I underscore for the social benefit and then the impact, the explanation of the benefit that I'm talking about. Then when you go to part C is talking about the side effects. So now after looking at part A, then part B, the part C of the question was telling us to identify any dangers of that chemical energy that was used in the bomb. So in those dangers, I said if you know, and if you've been following very well, we are looking at, you're supposed to give the side effect of that nuclear energy, give its impact, and then give its mitigation. So I can give one and say exposure to that nuclear energy, direct exposure to that nuclear energy can lead us to cancer. And then how can I mitigate that? By putting on protective wears or disposable clothes while going for that. And I phrase it in my statement, and that is the answer. So you can say direct exposure to nuclear energy makes you prone to cancer, which can reduce on your lifespan However, this can be mitigated by wearing disposable clothes while handling such processes. So with this one statement, I've given the side effect of the nuclear energy. Direct exposure to nuclear energy makes you prone to cancer. I know that is true, which can reduce on your lifespan. That is the impact of that side effect. Then I can say, however, this can be mitigated by wearing disposable clothes while handling such processes. So if I put on the protective disposable clothes, then I can easily dispose them away and remain clean without direct exposure. So with all that given, item number 1 is already done and good to go. Then we go to element of construct 3, which is item number 2.